Yep, we're
We're back.
live. Okay, this is
Okay.
attempt number 2, moderates number 1. Sam, you were quoting somebody. Let's hear you. Let's go. Get it?
Yeah,
Go.
who are you quoting?
Well, I was basically gonna give you a quote that you'd heard before, but they haven't, which is from a guy named Mark Manson. I'm a
Mhm.
big fan of his, and it's basically it seems people no longer want a democracy; they just want a dictator that agrees with them.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
mm,
I brought up that quote, and then somehow I got myself onto the topic of looking at people that are born into their jobs, basically. So I forget the term from that, but
It's
you've
like the
heard of
B
that, right?
movie.
It's kind of like the opposite of
he moved well.
the B movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of the American dream, where the American dream is you can get here if you want to. Ideally, you have freedom to kind of do what you want. What I'm talking about is there's no freedom. You're kind of forced into what you have to do,
Yeah, you're
and you just
talking.
got to accept it. But in a way, that's almost good.
No, yeah,
In
you're
So
some,
you're
you're talking about the Ukrainian dream.
is that the Ukrainian dream?
Yeah, all the
Is that a
USSR type
Ukrainian
shit.
thing?
I don't know. They're all born into their own shit. You're a
That's like
farmer now. Go
it's an
do it.
Indian thing too. I think.
hey,
I think. I don't really
what
know.
That's
what
great.
is this? I've never heard of this before. The,
Heard of what?
the Ukrainian dream. I'm still reeling from this
He's
weird saying.
he's just being facetious about something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I
What are you,
just
what even
accept.
are you, Tanner? What's your heritage?
I'm French
There-
Canadian.
We're we're
Scottish.
getting off.
There's Scottish on my mom's side. I don't know what else. My dad's French from New Brunswick. I don't know. White. We're all just
So you're a mutt.
yeah.
Heinz.
Or-
What is that? Heinz 77 or something? I think I am too. I'm like part on my dad's side, like Russian, Polish, and on my mom's side is Danish and Scottish.
Some
So
people
yeah,
take a lot of pride in that. Is it bad that I don't give a shit what you guys are?
Probably not.
it could be. I don't know.
I mean, aside from the Jewish thing, that's important, but
It'd be
everything
bad if I was
else.
black. But
What?
Oh god, this is a great
that,
start.
that's
And we're you're just
that's
talking
singer.
about Black Lives Matter, Brock?
Episode 1 is off to a great
Okay.
start.
So
We
so all
Okay, so
truly,
right.
what?
well, we
Let
I
me.
truly.
was.
Shut up.
Let
We
me get back to where I was here.
shut up. We truly know nothing and talk about everything. That's all. Over and out.
I feel
Disappoint.
like we
Sorry.
think. I feel like we think we know stuff, but we really don't. We just like rambling about
Yep.
random shit.
hmm
Um. So help me out here. What was I saying?
You're talking about. I said you're saying the American dream doesn't exist, but you're saying that's not necessarily a bad thing. That you're born into jobs like the B movie.
Well, in those situations, in the
Like
B movie situations, like where you're. I haven't seen B movie, so I can't relate. But I'll trust your take on it there.
it's a good meme.
So when you're born into a job basically, and you have no wiggle room, you kind of just accept where you're at. You're like, you're not like, oh, I could have been this. I could have been this in my life, but I never got there. I'm a failure. You're already born into that. So you don't have any of that. You can just kind of accept where you're at and move on with life. And maybe that's a decent thing in some ways, you know?
It's yeah. It's what's the word for that? It's blissful happiness. You're blissful to life, really.
Well, is it blissful?
It's 100% blissful. It's like ignorance in part, but bliss. It's just like ignorantly bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. You mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah, kind of. It's kind. You could also apply the same logic to a lot of things. Like ignorance is bliss. So education and a lack of education. You could even say the same thing. You don't know about. You aren't aware of the world's problems in a way. So you're not worried about them. You don't have to deal with
But I
them.
think like the lack of
Uh,
education is implied in being born into a specific duty. You don't need to know about math if you're just putting cardboard boxes together.
mm, I think there is a case to be made about in a way what you're saying about being born into a job, especially if it's kind of in the family. and then you kind of have your whole family's heritage, and then your father passes down to you information, teaching, education, if you will, about the trade and stuff. There's a lot to be had about that, but I don't think it's, I don't know, it's not bad, but choices tends to be good a lot of the time.
Well, there's good and bad to everything. And that's
Well.
kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
People think that maybe people think this, I don't know, that there should just be a place where everything's always good. And I don't know if that exists.
Oh, a safe space?
Except for heaven, I guess.
Well, if you want to get into it.
Okay, well, heaven now. Let's talk about real things.
I guess.
Okay.
So I mean, I was kind of.
We don't know for sure. We have our beliefs,
Uh-huh.
but at the end of the day, we really know nothing.
And talk about everything.
There you go.
Are we gonna say that every 5 minutes?
You're gonna keep bringing that up now.
I'll
eh?
try and squeeze it in anytime I can. I'm going to run it into the ground.
That'd be so okay. Whatever. But I guess Sam, what you
don't
were
want to
saying.
ruin it though.
Yeah. So don't say it every 5 minutes. Sam, talking to you.
Yeah.
So what you were saying about what you were getting at about being born into a job and stuff. You're not saying that you want things to be like that necessarily, but you're saying that it's not necessarily bad, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right. And so kind of we're getting at, you know, a perfect society, and what do we have, like, how important is it for things to be perfect? Because that's kind of what we were talking about, what we're complaining about. Things are getting. Wait, what are you typing here? Wait.
Just ignore it.
Okay. He's giving us our punchline. Anyways, I lost my train of thought now, guys.
You were saying, I think you were talking about how something about perfection. People are always, yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, I got it now. So before I was talking about, you know, we have two sides of the political spectrum, and we're always pushing for new things, or we're always pushing for, you know, changing things back to the way they were, or whatever.
Yeah.
We're always changing, right? And then sometimes, you know, we got it right already, and we don't need a change. I mean, that's kind of the point of being in the middle, being moderate. It's kind of like, you know what? Sometimes we did get it right. And I guess that kind of applies to what you were saying before right there, too. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily perfect. It's not necessarily the best way, but it's not bad.
It's not completely, fully bad.
Mm.
There's that argument that I was taught in my philosophy class. This is intro. I didn't like the class, and I'm not a philosopher. But they're saying for goodness to be, you need badness. Because if there's 100% goodness, you wouldn't know what good was without the contrasting badness.
That's right.
It's like being in a
That's
dark.
damn right.
It's like being in a dark room without having a light to turn it on. You don't know where you are. You don't give a shit what it is.
Yeah, you're right.
And
you're right.
and not
That's
only that,
beautiful.
I was gonna say, and
man.
vice versa too. And I think we're actually seeing the opposite in today's society, especially with all the accusations that are going out. All these awful names are being called. You're being called racist, Islamophobic,
Bigot.
xenophobic, bigot. Yeah, Nazis. That's being thrown around for some reason. And we don't really have an ideal. The only ideal we have is to not be that. We don't necessarily have a good.
No, the ideal is to just abide by whatever people don't get offended by. People want to they want safe spaces, and now they want the whole world to be one gigantic safe space where it's just complacent sheep being like, I like you so much. You're 500 pounds. Don't worry. You're healthy. You're not going to die at 25. Oh, you're 600 pounds. Look at you. You're an inspiration. It's bullshit.
Oh, my God. Is someone saying that they're an inspiration? I haven't heard that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is.
I've heard of them like saying that they're beautiful, but I haven't heard them saying that they're inspiration.
Now, by them, are you referring to fat people, Sam?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, did you just assume that their pronoun is them?
I did.
That's very...
Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah, you're a Nazi.
You're getting too many...
I apologize. I apologize, world.
I guess, like, we're talking about that, kind of looking at, fat shaming, what fat shaming used to be. It was all like, oh, well, it's shaming fat people for being fat. That's what it used to be. But now that's kind of like transformed and morphed into being fat is a good thing. Like, it's a good thing. It's good for you. It's just like,
I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast.
You were you?
He pulled up this article where somebody wrote an article of 10 reasons why being fat is healthy. Is a healthy thing.
They said they attribute it to health. Because people they don't say it's healthy for you. Not they. I'm just saying like the articles that are for this positive body positivity. Well, it's in moderation is good, but it's for like mental well-being. I haven't heard anyone saying like, oh yeah, why don't you pack on 100? You'd live an extra 10 years. It's all up here. People want to be like satisfied with this. I've never heard anyone say it's healthy. But go on. I want to hear
this
these
article.
lists.
This article was actually. You should pull it up there, Brock.
Do you remember any of the reasons from there? Actually, before that, could you give me specifically what it was called?
Just look up something to do with
being fat and healthy.
10 health benefits of being fat.
10
Just look
health.
That's gonna bring you right to BuzzFeed. What are you doing?
I think it was like Huffington, something like that. I can't remember.
Telegraph, is that possible?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Telegraph.
Huffington.
Telegraph.
There's
Telegraph.
Huffington Post and Telegraph. Ooh.
Pretty sure it's Telegraph.
Hold on.
They were doing Huffits when they wrote that thing.
Here. Huh.
So give us a couple there.
Hold on. Okay. Well, on the Telegraph, it gives me 5 reasons.
Actually, I have a good reason.
That's more than too many.
I have a good reason. Actually, I have one healthy reason why fatness is good for you. Is because if you're so heavy, like the heavier you are, the more gravity helps you from floating into space. So if you're a really light feather, one strong wind gust, and you're off into the stratosphere. That's the best I can come up with.
Like that guy who tied a bunch of balloons to him and then got taken away, and then he got fined or whatever. He got arrested for flying in the air.
Oh, yeah, that was the thing.
On his back.
Kind of recently, wasn't
Couple extra Happy Meals, he wouldn't be losing money right now.
All right.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Brock.
I was gonna say, the reasons here, I can just list them off for you guys if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just humor us here.
The first one is being overweight carries a reduced risk of rheumatoid arthritis.
How does that make sense?
Well, there's a lot of oil in the system.
All of that extra weight in your joints?
It's like homemade WD-40.
No,
it's possible. The second,
all
that was the
trans
first one.
fats and pizzas up there in the system.
Yeah.
Just making it nice and moist for you.
You guys.
It's one moist environment. Your bones like the fat, let's be honest.
All right, you ready? Second.
All right.
Being overweight means you're less likely to develop dementia.
Less likely to develop dementia.
Why?
It's been.
Does it say why?
Because you got to remember to eat all the time. Like,
stress that memory.
Yeah, you're stressed with like, oh shit, I gotta get a Big Mac.
7,000 calories for the day.
I'm not sure.
It's a good mental exercise.
They quote something that's been published. So, when the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology.
How though? Like you're taking in all that garbage in your system, and you're taxing your digestive system. So you're not going to be able to think as good because all of the energy of your body is focused on digesting this crap that you're eating. So how is that going to help your brain and limit dementia? This is all just anecdotal stuff we're saying here, but that,
you go into
doesn't make any sense.
When you're shoveling 10,000 calories into your mouth daily, you're basically catatonic. So there's not a lot of brain activity going on anyway. So it's not like you're stressing the machine. You're not yanking the guts out of the car and like. No wonder it doesn't go to the shitter. That thing could last.
Yeah, but
years.
if you leave something, like you're not using something for 10 years and then you come back to it, it's going to be rusty. There's not going to be anything there for you.
It can't be rusty. It's got all that oil. Remember, moist environment. Yep, moist environment. That's why.
All right,
number 3.
Let's bring this in here.
Yeah, number 3.
There's a few things to say, but I mean, like, I actually don't doubt some of the results here because it's
everything. Okay, go. I don't want to cut you off, but you can't actually be justifying some of the stuff there.
I think it's possible.
You can find, I guarantee you, 5 other articles that negate that. And
Can
actually, on the podcast I was talking about, he had this biochemist who has a PhD dispute all of those claims that they made there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they went through this list and said no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, what were you gonna say, Brock? And then let's get to number 3.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Brock?
Well, I was gonna say, like, we could be looking at silver linings and stuff, right? I mean, it's very possible that, being fat, it's not ideal, right? We all know the general effects that it'll have. It will cause health problems, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every single thing about you is worse off now. I think in the long run, you're definitely worse off, but
if you're really
doesn't necessarily. Sorry, go ahead.
It probably affects you a lot. Think about it. You're a husband. You get married. You're in good shape. 20 years into your marriage, it's falling apart. You've gained 300 pounds. Biggest negative: your dick got smaller. You can't even see it anymore. See it. Yeah, there you go. That's going to negatively impact your life.
Okay.
Do you need to see it though?
Yeah.
I guess it depends.
Depends on what? What do you sit down to pee?
Yeah.
When?
What do you mean when?
You sit down to pee.
Yeah, I like to whip out my phone and play a game or something.
When you take a piss.
Healthier.
Yeah.
Wait, you both sit down and pee?
Sometimes.
You do too, Brock? Yeah.
Like if I'm like,
man, you don't.
Why are we talking about this?
No, we're not going back.
Okay, you know what? If I'm at school and I have to go for a quick pee, I'm not going to hit up the toilet. I'll just go for the urinal. But if I'm at home and there's only a toilet there, I don't have the option for the urinal, then I'm just going to sit down. I don't want that stuff splashing everywhere, you know?
Well, no, it's common courtesy. Like if the urinals are full and I go into the bathroom and there's a stall, I walk into the stall, I lift up the seat, I grab my dick because I can see it, and I aim it at the goddamn bowl. I don't like.
You can see it?
Well, I strain, but I find it. But like, what are you talking about? Like you guys, like you're at home and you're like, oh, I gotta take a piss, and you walk over and you adjust yourself and then you sit there. Do you like wipe?
Man.
Do you wipe when you're done?
Usually, yeah.
When you're taking a piss, I'm talking like this, like shit excluded, just piss. You wipe.
Yeah. I usually grab like one square and use that. Yeah.
So I just wanted to pipe
if the option's there for you, then why not?
Let me just throw this out here real quick. We are the moderates, and we know nothing, and we apparently, as evidence from the last conversation, talk about everything.
Hey,
so
Brock, hey, stop shoving it in every 5 minutes.
Just throwing that out there. I think it's important that we regurgitate that.
Another important thing is in our pre-show, we specifically said not to bring up toilets and bathroom etiquette. And what?
Hey, we had mentioned poop.
We're 18 minutes. I mentioned. Well, there you go. First mention of poop. 18 minutes in. There we go. Okay, you guys are the only 2 men I know that sit to pee. Nothing wrong with it. I love and accept you. Let's get back to the fat list.
How did we get here?
Sorry, what?
We're talking about
let's
fat
move
people.
on to the next.
Number 3.
One.
Number 3. Yeah, we only got 2 points in.
Yeah, 7
All
more.
right.
And let's end at number 3 because we're taking too long on this here.
I don't know. This is pretty funny.
Unless 3 is a bad one.
So
well, they all are.
This is kind of an interesting one. They claim that being overweight can mean a stronger immune system.
Okay.
I don't know.
How so?
I don't know. I'm a little hefty and I don't get sick that much. Maybe there's some truth to it.
Give me a second. A lot.
Maybe you're just in like a constant state of sickness.
Who, me?
Yeah. And you just kind of adapted to it.
I think it's my nostrils sometimes, though. Maybe the germs don't get in that little pee hole up here.
Oh, yeah, because your little incident there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for those who don't know, I've been hit in the face on 2 different occasions with a puck coming at, like, high velocity. So my nose... Yeah, my nose can bend all the way this way. And force won't go this way. I can stick a thumb up this nostril, and I can't stick a pinky up this one. but it's straight. Luckily, it's very Jewish. It complements my face. But yeah, it's quite springy, and lots of shit doesn't get in there. But anyways,
You might have a little bit of Jew in you, man.
yeah, I got
You never
the
know.
thick hair. Like, if I laid down in a children's pool on my back, kids would yell, "It's a shark."
I don't know how many times you've used that. It's still funny though.
First time on the show.
I'm not looking forward to hearing that again.
Oh, you will.
Actually, it wasn't that bad of a joke, but anyways, the
Brock,
reasons as to
wait,
why.
Brock. I got a better joke. You want to hear about this one? Will make you laugh.
No, I don't want to hear it. So the reason why
No, Brock, you got to hear it.
the immune system is better.
No,
Apparently,
Brock.
Okay.
Let Brock go on there.
Okay, no,
Tanner,
but
come
this
on.
is killer. It's killer. You ready?
Mm.
Get this. We know nothing and talk about everything.
So the reason why the immune system is supposedly better for being overweight is kind of, I don't even know if it's higher knowledge for people who don't know anything.
Okay.
But it's talking about the deep layers of fat around the organs called omentum fat. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, sorry, fat? What is it?
Omentum fat.
Omentum?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that, no. Unless they're talking about like visceral fat.
Maybe. I don't know anything.
You know those people with like my dad, for instance. It's not like he's like fat, but he has a pretty big belly.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing's hard. It's like he's got like he's been working on his abs, and his belly's like as hard as a rock.
Is he a drinker?
No.
That's like
and that's called visceral fat. That's like really hard fat. That's hard to. It's hard for him to lose that weight because it's so dense, the adipose tissue that he has there. Anyway, keep going.
I don't know. Something about that fat can interact on a cellular level with your immune system, and aiding in the regulation of your immune system's response. The fat essentially calms down the body's biological defense mechanism and prevents it overcompensating or causing collateral damage. End quote. Didn't begin the quote, but ending it there.
All right. Is 4 interesting? Give a quick glance to number 4. Should we keep going with this or?
Being overweight's apparently linked to longevity and recovery time. Increased longevity and recovery time.
Yeah, because they don't hit the fucking gym. There's no recovery to be had.
I think longevity in this case is more.
Like, what kind of recovery were we talking about here?
From stuff in their face. They gotta breathe. They're out of breath.
I think it's like this, because you know how this is kind of biology a bit, but you know how fat is just stored energy essentially? Yeah, so your body like takes in food, and if it doesn't immediately use it, sometimes it'll just store it as fat. They're saying you can use that fat as energy in recovery, which is kind of true sometimes. So when you are injured or hurt, that your body can be like, oh, instead of needing to wait for food, I can just immediately use some fat for energy to help recover.
Well, the only issue with that is people who are overweight typically are depending on glucose for their energy because they're consuming so many carbs. Mm-hmm. Their body is adapted to all of these glucose levels they're taking in, and they're not burning fat. That's kind of, have you heard of like a ketogenic, keto diet?
No, actually, I haven't. Keto diet?
Yeah.
Is that where you remove carbs completely?
Basically 0 carbs in your diet.
Because Tom
said, with the purpose of making your body, because the way that your body goes, the first thing that it'll target to break down to give you energy is glucose, which is sugar. Mm-hmm. So carbs. Second thing is fat. And third thing is muscle.
Right.
So if you get rid of all of the carb intake into your body, then that forces your body to have to start looking at fat as its main source of fuel, main source of energy. So all of these people that a lot of overweight people. I can't imagine somebody who's overweight and doesn't consume a ton of carbs. I just feel like it's not possible. And they're all in this like sugar and carb burning zone. So I don't really see the validity of that.
Well, I mean, it's probably true. I mean, if we were to assume in this case, like I'm assuming this study kind of is, that these overweight people versus not overweight people are just kind of consuming the same amount, and it's like kind of a controlled factor and stuff, then this would be the result, is what I'm thinking. And there are cases too where people are overweight because of poor metabolisms and stuff. It's not necessarily because of a higher carb intake, though that's possible too. And probably the case in a lot of the cases. But I mean, I can see that. I think it's like kind of a small benefit, as I said, a silver lining. I don't think it actually makes it worth it to become overweight, but I do think that is possible. That is true.
So they're basically, are they saying here that all of these things, if you're a healthy person and not overweight, then you're going to die early, you're going to have arthritis, you're going to have dementia? Flip that around. You know, there's no way they can justify that.
They're basically ignoring in this list how like fat causes cancer, or is very like predominantly involved in inducing cancer in some like cases.
I think so. I think the title, the headline, being overweight means you're less likely to develop dementia. That's, it probably is true, probably small, and it doesn't take into account the more serious side effects that are caused. Again, a list of silver linings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, silver linings. I'm sure it might have like this much benefit, but like they're ignoring heart disease and cancer, and wait, this arthritis thing. Let's come back to that. If you're 400 pounds, how bad must your knee joints be? They're not
exactly.
They're not smiling in the morning when you walk and get up. They're like, oh shit.
Well, don't quote me on this, but I heard some kind of stat where for every like 5 pounds that you gain, it adds another 10% stress onto your knee joints or onto your joints in general. And now I don't know the exact stat. It's something in that area. So again, don't quote me, but yeah, it's pretty massive. For every little bit of weight that you gain, it adds a huge amount of stress onto your body. So yeah, you got to basically look at the sources here of this article and see if they're actually legitimate before we can actually accept that this might be true. Which we don't really have time for right now, but we can look into that later.
Long story short, we don't know.
There you go.
But yeah.
But we...
Shut up, please. Have mercy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, well.
Brock, you were telling me that the police are barred from which event again?
Okay, so this is kind of current events a bit, but there's been an article going around, and many listeners are probably aware of it, that well, actually, let's go a bit into history. Last year's Toronto Pride Parade that happened, and as it was going on, as the parade was moving, there was essentially kind of a protest by Black Lives Matter, the movement. It's kind of like migrated from the US to the Canada now, and it's there. They actually interrupted the parade as it was moving, so the parade completely came to a halt.
What did they have against the Pride Parade?
What did they have against the Pride Parade? Well, the reason they stopped it was to demand that all the police and their what is it called when they have a float? Their floats, like their cars, their floats, all the police presence entirely should be essentially just kept out from the Pride Parade. I forget if it was that from that Pride Parade and on, or just all future events. But in other words, all this concluded is essentially Black Lives Matter interrupted the Pride Parade and said, no more police in your Pride Parades, and we want to be a part of it too. And so now, a year or two later, there's an upcoming Pride Parade And police have just confirmed that they're not going to be a part of it.
So they accepted that.
Yeah, essentially they accepted that.
There's no protocols that require them to be there now.
Nope. So essentially, yeah.
Now, what happens if something
That doesn't
goes wrong?
make sense. It's a social gathering. You'd think there would be a requirement for police to go there in case anything does go wrong.
Well, I'm sure there will actually be police there. Just that there probably won't be them being celebrated in the parade as it goes. But I mean, it's common for law enforcement to be in parades, right? Like they're in all sorts of stuff. Pride parades are just one of them, the most recent kind of new thing that police are in. But they've participated in any parade that happens out there. They have specific cars and vehicles that go into these pride parades, or all parades, not just pride parades.
Well, and you would think that, especially with like how contentious the issue right now is with homosexuals, there might be some people that are against it, which would, you'd think, increase the need for police to potentially be there. To keep things in hand potentially.
Yeah, well, I do think there will be a police presence at the parade, just not in it. But yeah, it does speak volumes to say that the police aren't an active visual role within the parade. Basically, the LGBTQ movement is saying you're not important to us anymore, or it could be construed like that.
So what you're saying is their presence will be there in some undercover capacity? Is that like
how?
That's the theory
like how
here?
it normally is. And I'm assuming that there'll be kind of there will be police kind of, because any big social gathering, there will be.
Well, they're either there or not there. They publicly said they're not going, or.
No, I mean they won't. They will be like at the event that's happening, but they won't have a float in the parade. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. I don't.
Okay.
I'm fine with the police not having a float in the gay parade. There's like let's have some fabulous rainbow parades. Like you don't need the black and white going woo.
Okay, I misunderstood. Yeah.
Well, I guess
they don't need a float.
But it is
why
saying,
do they need a float?
Why do they need a float? Because it's well, why would police participate in any parades?
Police officers or something.
Well, yeah.
Which there likely is.
There are.
I mean, unless there's a department with a lot of gay police, then they could put a couple of poles up on a car and go down Main Street, but...
I think they probably do have, and I think they probably did have in previous parades, LGBTQ policemen on the floats going along with the parade. I think that's kind of the point, is the police are saying, we're a part of this, we approve of this, and it's all good sort of thing. But they're being kicked out is essentially... The significant part of this is the Black Lives Matter. Why did they kick them out in the first place, right? They're saying we don't like law enforcement for some reason. I'm assuming
for all of the... What's that?
No, just as you were probably going to say, because in the U.S. there's a whole tensions between law enforcement and the black population there.
Yeah.
They kind of bring that over into Canada. And I mean, the takeaways from this, there's a few takeaways. One, the LGBTQ movement is pretty weak sauce. They kind of just caved into the demands of the Black Lives Matter thing. I mean, like, yeah, you don't need police in your parade, but I mean...
Well, tell me a bit more about this, because I don't know a whole lot about the backstory about how they were being weak with the Black Lives Matter.
Well, so Black Lives Matter stopped the parade. Like, they were in the way. If you wanted the parade to continue, you would be running over these guys.
Okay.
You couldn't continue. And the Black Lives Matter gave an ultimatum.
So wait, the Black Lives Matter was in the way of the gay pride parade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they gave an ultimatum and said, you have to get rid of the police presence in the pride parade. Or we won't move, I guess. We won't let the pride parade continue.
Oh, okay.
The pride parade was like, well, we got to continue, so police, you're out. And just like that, it was made
I see.
real quick.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's what I mean by saying they're weak sauce. They caved really easy, and it's like
Well, it's probably because like their cause of endorsing their ideals of homosexuality is more important to them than the police. So it wasn't that hard to make that decision
yeah,
because basically they're giving up what they're kind of striving if they would have let the police stay
Like
because they wouldn't have
inclusivity?
been able to do.
sorry, say that again.
Like inclusivity?
They're giving up inclusivity by doing that. You're saying?
Well, you're saying like they're giving up like they're being hypocrites. There you go. In a way, by excluding the police because one ideal is against them, so their ideal can still have an
Oh
event.
yeah,
In a way,
I guess there is a little bit of hypocrisy there, yeah. But at the same time, I feel like any ideology, if there's something that they're trying to push, and there's another thing that's kind of standing in the way of that, it depends on their values. And then if they value what they're trying to push more than that thing, then it's an easy decision.
Yeah, well, I think that's like a lot of things nowadays. There's like compromising has become extinct at this point. It's either one or the other. But I don't think there's anything wrong with them carrying on with their parade or having the police in it or not having them in there. But if we want to look at the reasons for the decisions, there's definitely the criticisms to be had. But there's like so much work that could be done into creating a compromised environment for everybody, really. If people want to
That's a good point you brought up there.
Stop name yelling.
People don't really want to compromise anymore.
No, it's either it's their way or the highway. It's childish. It's what happens when you give participation trophies when you're younger.
Oh man, don't get me going on that.
Let's not get going on that actually.
No?
No? But yeah, so the conclusion, I mean, like as we said, it's one thing if they're just kind of like, oh, okay, we'll placate them for now, and then we'll deal with the problem later, sort of thing, right? But the point of this article being brought up year later, that a decision has been made that police are out, is essentially saying they have caved to that ideology, they agree with it, or they agree with their demands. It wasn't just a one-off thing. All right, we're dealing with it, and then we'll forget about it later. No, like they are consistently going with that. And it could be also construed that essentially by agreeing with the Black Lives Matter movements, the people activists there, they essentially are agreeing that police are discriminating against black people here in Canada too. Which is
it though?
Well, that's actually the Black Lives Matter are definitely claiming that.
No, but you're saying that the gay or the gay pride is agreeing with it.
It could be understood that that is by
which might not necessarily be the case.
It might not be the case.
It might just be appeasement on their side to, like what I said, push their ideals forward.
Well, yeah, it could be just appeasement. But I mean, as I said, that appeasement is carrying over years later. So it does appeasement tends to be shorter term, usually I would think, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not right.
It takes time for extreme things to happen. It's like when you're a parent and your kid's a little piece of shit. It keeps pushing, right? It'll push to a point until it gets a retaliation. He's like, okay, if I do this, like, there's consequences. And eventually that becomes the baseline. So they push a bit more.
Yeah.
And then they find a new baseline. And at some point, you're looking back a couple of years, and this rock has been pushed 100 miles past the place you said, don't push that rock. And yeah, it's like the left. Like, they have there's great things the left to be had, and then they have this super loud minority that are just pushing people. Like, there's so much apathy, and like rightly so. It's just like you're yelling about stuff that's basically like it's there. It doesn't need a name, and it's just pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually, we're like we're like not us. Like I mean, like just like society in general. It's like at an edge of a cliff. Well, this 300-pound blue-haired individual with 37 genders is yelling at me, calling me a Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
Like no.
So
go back.
going off of that, like speaking of lines being pushed and 37 gendered person calling you a Nazi, there's another article that came out recently, also about Black Lives Matter. Now this one, the leader of the movement in Canada was giving a speech to a bunch of people. It was like she was standing on a car, had a sign language translator and everything. And within the speech, she made the claim that the Canadian Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is a white supremacist terrorist. This was a claim she made.
What was this founded on?
Other than white, he's like the opposite of those two things.
Oh, it was talking about all the awful way Canada has treated Black people, Indigenous people, and just how it's a whole misogynistic culture. And Canada was the center of whiteness. I think that's a quote. I don't remember. I watched it recently, but there was a lot of stuff she said, and it was.
How much insanity was she saying?
I don't know. Like some of it was true. Canada doesn't have.
I'll be the first to admit I'm not a huge fan of Trudeau, but how is the treatment that we gave towards Aboriginals his fault?
Because he's white.
Well, yeah, that's the line is being pushed more. It's been like from rational possibilities and stuff. Like, studies say police target Black people more, and there's like there might be reasons for that. There might not be. It might be racism. It might be other reasons. That's one thing. But now it's just going to outright assumptions like, all white people are white supremacist terrorists and stuff like that. And then
did you say something about how Canada's like the center for white people?
Yeah, center of
what?
Misogyny or something.
Are you fucking serious?
Well, she was yelling at a crowd, so I'm assuming she was pretty serious, but
This is like Madonna at that women's march being like, I sometimes dream about blowing up the White House. Like, you can't say shit like that. And then we're the white capital?
I wonder if she's like not fat or something, because it sounds like she has dementia.
She could stand to put a few LBs on and get that mind going again.
How did she justify this?
What race is she? What race is she, by the way?
Well, she's Black. That's all I know.
Okay, minor point. She's welcome to her opinion regardless. But what a dumb fucking opinion.
Don't be spreading that in front of like how many people were in that gathering.
Well,
like you gotta have factual statements.
She can spread it. She can spread facts. She can spread not facts. The problem is when the people who are listening accept the not facts as facts, and they don't really like internalize it. They don't think it through. They don't.
It's fake news. That's fake news.
Fake news. I didn't really understand the whole fake news.
It's Trump on Twitter. Anytime someone disagrees with him, he's like, "You're fake news." And there's some validity behind where that comes from. Like the media in North America is very biased and sometimes adjusts details. I think there's a good majority in the middle that tells just things. I think the internet's taken over social media. Like you go on YouTube and you find more trustworthy people really to get the news from. Philip DeFranco's a good one. But yeah, no, he's running it into the ground like some of the jokes I use. Like he's like anything. If New York Times just writes his name in a sentence, it's a fake news. That's about it.
So essentially, fake news is papers lying, usually because of bias.
Yeah, he really hates CNN.
Comes down to.
Well, how can you blame him?
Yeah, they're probably the worst.
They were on his ass the whole election process.
Yeah,
and they were kind of brushing all of Hillary's trespasses under the rug while saying how horrible Trump was. I'm not saying he's perfect. Obviously, he's not. He's far from that. But
no. But no,
it's not the most equal. Is egalitarian? No, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
The news isn't very objective nowadays. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
I wouldn't say so. I think I think they do kind of pick facts usually, and they are better at researching and stuff, but they tend to not disclose everything. They tend to I think someone talked about Trump, and they were going in about it, and they were saying how you know, his opponents, they will bring out stuff that Trump has said, and like he has said like stupid things, but they'll get at it and they'll say, you know, really what they're getting at is they're hitting technicalities and stuff that Trump says.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, he said, I these guys are typing.
What are we at?
Before we started this, we kind of were saying how we didn't really want to start talking about Trump because
45 minutes in.
We've been beating the horse for so long that it's
not
kind
just
of tiring
us,
to
not
be
just
talking
us.
about.
Everybody has.
Like everybody has, and I've told you guys before that's one of the things that's turned me off Facebook. Is all of the whining and bitching about what's going on with Trump. It's tiring, man.
You know,
I never really go on Facebook now unless there's like some kind of like notification I get.
Well, you know it's not tiring. I could talk about Marvel till my last dying breath. Do you guys want to talk about Infinity War? You guys ready to talk about Infinity War?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know what's there to say.
We talk about anything. Why not?
Well, Brock, you're not a heavy Marvel fan, right? You're just a casual moviegoer. You're like, oh look, another Avengers movie, right? Correct.
Filthy casual, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you watched this video. Marvel Studios put out a 4-minute look into the production of the next 2 Avengers movies, the biggest movies that will ever be in our generation, really. Large movies.
Well, in terms of superhero.
Well, no, these are going to be the first movies filmed entirely in IMAX. Entirely, like they're brand new technology, etc. But so you look at this video. They've been in production for maybe 3 weeks now. So you look at this video, you see some things. What are your views as just a casual viewer?
My views are I still haven't seen the video.
God
sorry, guys.
Damn bastard. Okay, Sam, you're a casual viewer. Your first reactions.
Well, it was like the 3.5 minute video, right?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it was really anything extra special, but I liked what they said at the beginning about how they had everything planned out from the very first Marvel film, which was Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Or did they say that? Or did they say Avengers 1?
No,
they probably said Avengers 1.
No, 2008 Iron Man. That's when things, like the whole universe started.
So
that's kind of crazy.
They planned out how they were going to do everything right from that first movie?
Well, no. There's like they
had like
they had a through line that they wanted to have an Avengers universe, a Marvel Cinematic Universe. And within that universe, there's popular storylines.
No. That's what I was looking for.
They had phases, and they slowly constructed it up from the ground. Like they went as it went, and if things didn't work, which rarely, they really have hit everything out of the park. They're very lucky, and albeit talented, so there's a reason for the luck. But like, so casual audiences, you look at it, you're like, oh cool, another Avengers movie. I look at it, and there's so much shit. They spoil some things, and this is theories at some point. But they pull up.
They show Thanos without his helmet.
Oh no, that's not a big deal. Yeah, Thanos he's gonna be a big deal.
Thanos looks sick, man. Oh.
Yeah. Within this past week, Kevin Feige says the main character of Avengers Infinity War will be Thanos. So that'll be an interesting dynamic to watch. They were saying
that everybody knows that Thanos is going to come in, but they're trying to bring him in kind of a surprising way.
Well, they've been teasing him since the first Avengers, that end credit scene.
But they're going to bring him in some kind of like way that people aren't expecting, which is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to go into the love story aspect of Thanos is trying to appease death.
And death.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
It would be sick if they could bring in Deadpool somehow, even though he's 20th century. Yeah. Because of that whole drama with him and death. And Thanos. That'd be sick.
I don't want that X-Men universe touching the cinematic universe. But yeah, they show like a lot of artwork. There's some interesting things. The most interesting one is that shot, because they confirmed the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers are finally meeting.
Yeah.
People like me that are vigilant on this stuff, like we're on it like a fat kid on a Snickers. Like we knew, like I saw this coming like a mile away, country mile away. But they confirm it, and they show artwork of Rocket Raccoon next to Thor. And
Yeah.
most interesting, this movie will take place after the next Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, which is not out yet, and there's a bunch of theories and speculations going on there. Now, this Avengers Infinity artwork, Thor is not holding his hammer. He's not Mjolnir, not in that picture. That's not Mjolnir. That's a new weapon.
Sure, it's Mjolnir.
Yeah, it's Mjolnir. Mjolnir is
Or
not.
the Mjolnir.
No, it's not that.
Might be Mjolnir.
Go eat some fatness. You're getting dementia over there. But yeah, no, he's got his new
I'll look it up after.
what can be only assumed to be his battle axe, the Ultimate's Mjolnir, because
Can that thing be lifted by anyone else other than him?
no, Captain America's lifted it before. Vision lifted the original Mjolnir in Age of Ultron. There's a.
Or are you talking about in like Avengers 2?
Yeah, when
Or was it Avengers 1 or 2 where
Vision.
Captain kind of moved the hammer a little bit?
No, Age of Ultron, Cap nudges it, and Vision picks it up. Yeah. Well, in the original storyline, that the Infinity Gauntlet storyline where they're pulling all this from in the history, Captain America actually picks it up and stuff. But this goes into speculations and theories that have been surrounding Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok, this huge movie. It's going to be like amazing. They got Hulk, Doctor Strange, everybody. The first thing
And Thor. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, Loki. The first thing that ever leaked about Thor Ragnarok is that Mjolnir would be destroyed. And people are like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They're going to take away his powers, throw him off on Planet Hulk or whatever, and go from there. Nothing's been confirmed, but this artwork confirms that. And not only that, in the video, you have Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.,
I saw that.
Tom Holland together. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're filming the big action scenes right off the bat, so you can, the CGI takes months and months to do, so they're doing the big scenes first. Set pictures from Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland put it on Instagram when he was filming the first Spider-Man that will be coming out in July. He wore a practical suit on set. He wore the practical Iron Man suit, the practical Spider-Man suit, right, while he's filming this movie. In this production video for Infinity War.
What's the practical Spider-Man suit?
Like the one you see, like red and blue, Spider-Man. You look at him, you're like, oh shit, that's Spider-Man.
Okay, why don't you just say the Spider-Man suit then?
Because it's a practical effect. When they filmed Civil War, it was a CGI suit because they added him last minute to the movie.
Okay.
So Spider-Man Homecoming is the first time they filmed with a practical Spider-Man suit.
Okay.
Now Infinity War, which is now going to be following this, Tom Holland is not wearing a practical Iron Man suit. In fact, he's wearing a motion capture suit. You can see on his hands and stuff. That's why he's got the jacket zipped up. That can only mean one thing. He's got a new Spider-Man suit, and if we go off that theory, it's definitely going to be Iron Spider. If you're unfamiliar with this, in the original Civil War storyline, Iron Man creates an Iron Man version of the Spider-Man suit with like actual spider arms coming out the back and stuff. Crazy ass suit. That's the only thing that I can assume from that. That would be a gigantic spoiler, and fans would love that. So I think that's possible.
I'm not sure fans would love that because it's not the regular Spider-Man they're used to seeing. Casual fans wouldn't know about that Iron Spider suit.
Yeah,
and they might not like it.
Oh, as soon as you see it, you're gonna like it, man. Like it's gonna blow your mind. Casual fans will be like, "Holy shit! It's Iron Man and Spider-Man in one, and he's cracking whips and fighting Thanos."
I wouldn't like it right now, to be honest. I like the classic Spider-Man suit.
You're gonna have the classic Spider-Man suit. There's 2 Avengers movies they're filming back to back right now, and there's gonna be tons of classic Spider-Man.
Well, if the first one has classic Spider-Man and the second one has Iron Spider, then I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm not saying as soon as he gets the Iron Spider, that's what he wears the rest of his career. It's a one-off thing to get a duty done. He's gonna have the
sure.
because like you'll have classic.
I thought you were
Spider-Man.
trying to say that he'd beat Iron for the whole movie.
No. Well, like think about it. Thanos, this gigantic alien with the Infinity Stones, is coming here, and you want Peter Parker? Like, what's Peter Parker gonna do? He needs some upgrades. Give him a goddamn Iron Man suit. That's basically the thought process. But another spoiler, this video confirms, or kind of surrounding the production of Infinity War, is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2, has confirmed that the team expands into including Nebula, Mantis, and Yondu. Yondu's the blue guy from the first one, kind of a father figure for
I could
Star-Lord.
see that happening.
Well, yeah, no, they're part of the team, so he's a part of the team. And the villain of
Who are the other 2 guys you mentioned? Sorry,
that are joining?
Yondu and then
Mantis is going to be a new guardian, and Nebula, which is Gamora's
yeah.
sister. Both
Who's
daughters.
Mantis though? Have we met Mantis?
No, she's like the ambassador. So you find out who Star-Lord's father is in this movie, and he's Ego, the living planet. So it's a planet. Like his dad is a planet, but he can create this human form. That's how Star-Lord came to be.
Like Galactus, kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah, but he's like human size, like regular size. It's played by Kurt Russell in the movie. Okay. But Mantis is this figure that has lived with Ego his entire. She's never met anyone. She's like super naive to the world, but she's like very childlike in a way, from what I've read in a bunch of stuff that's come out from the movie. But she's the ambassador for Ego, so the Guardians come to Ego, and she's like a whole new world for her. But she ends up on the team, Nebula from first one. But the story, as explained by the director James Gunn, is a very father-son relationship, very family dynamics. Nebula and Gamora sisterhood, father figures between Yondu, Star-Lord, and now his biological father, Ego. Everyone in the Guardians, this new updated one that will be seen in Volume 2, has confirmed they are on set filming for Infinity War, except Yondu. So that can only mean the big emotional punch of this movie is going to be like Star-Lord's, like his real father who raised them, Yondu, is going to bite the bullet in somewhere or the other for the biological father, who will be the villain of the movie. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Did you kind of infer all of this on your own, or did you watch like different review?
Well, I inferred this on my own because
videos.
Everyone has confirmed on social media they're on their set through Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Everyone except Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu, and he's all over social media all the time. He's always talking about Guardians and stuff. He would have been the first one to say.
Isn't that kind of a big giveaway though? I feel like they wouldn't give it away that easily. Well, like if he's the only guy who's not really involved, that seems kind of obvious.
Well, it's not like people are like have their finger on the pulse. Like I kind of look for that shit though. So like I don't care about spoilers. I want to know what's happening as soon as it does. So as soon as I've started to notice he's not there, like they're filming some heavy Guardian scenes for Infinity War if Star-Lord's already there. And it's a father-son movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Why would you take away from that? If you want a big gut punch in that movie, kill the guy who raised them and stuff. Yondu's gonna die in Volume 2. I'm calling it now. Moderates episode 1.
I have like a sick playlist again for the second Guardians.
That is, so far, have you heard some of the songs from the trailer?
It's a beauty.
It's gonna be way better.
They've released some, hey?
Yeah, slowly throughout trailers. I'm looking forward to that one and Thor. Spider-Man looks pretty good.
What was your favorite track from the first Guardians from that playlist?
Come and Get Your Love.
Oh yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah, the one he dances to at the beginning.
Man, I'm all about Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah.
Hooked on a feeling.
Yeah, they use the songs in such great moments.
Believing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's so much.
Did you see that David Hasselhoff video?
Which?
Hooked on a Feeling, David Hasselhoff.
Like his original music video?
You know who David Hasselhoff is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. He kind of did a music video of Hooked on a Feeling. Of him like flying around and doing random shit. It's hilarious.
Yeah, he covered the song. Like he put out a legitimate release because he considered himself an artist at some point. And like
that wasn't his voice though, was it?
He sings on a Hooked on a Feeling song, not in the original.
Sure he just outfits it and he just kind of moves around in the music video.
Yeah, well, you know what's a better Hasselhoff video is that one where he's drunk on the ground shoveling burger into his mouth. You seen that one? None of you.
What's that?
You never seen this one where he's like...
What song?
It's not a song. It's like leaked to TMZ years and years ago. His like daughter filmed him drunk on the ground eating burgers.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I think it's not a music video.
Oh shit, that one.
Yeah, he's hooked on the bottle.
That kind of like ruined him a little bit, didn't it?
No, I think SpongeBob ruined him. Or Baywatch.
SpongeBob?
He was in that SpongeBob movie. Where his like tits came apart like a rocket and shot them back down to Bikini Bottom.
Man, I used to be obsessed with SpongeBob as a kid.
Really?
I had like every single season.
I'd casually watch. It was okay.
Oh man, SpongeBob.
I was more of a...
And the cool thing about SpongeBob, it was a kids show.
Yeah.
But they brought in like adult humor that only adults would get at certain areas, which kind of makes it timeless.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I was more of a Power Rangers kid.
I was never into Power Rangers.
Buddy, Megazords all the way. It's
You
like
there? Were you into Power Rangers, Brock?
No, they weren't really a thing. They hardly had any shows on any of the channels I was watching.
Well, you guys are the same age, aren't you?
yeah, I'm 22.
Well, yeah,
What are you, Brock?
that's a secret.
Now, Brock,
But
tell
yeah.
tell us the
35 on us
3-digit
here.
number on the back of your credit card.
A three. No. What was the question?
This
How
is
old are
age
you?
one.
You're I met you when you were 20.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you might be
21
21 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, what was the question?
just how
I
old
was
you were.
asking if you were into Power Rangers ever.
Oh, yeah, no. It wasn't really a thing, and it always looked to me. It looked so cheesy.
That's
It
the
always
point.
did.
Yeah.
It
Well,
wasn't
I
the
was
point.
always. Yeah.
This is why you guys sit down to pee, because you didn't have Power Rangers in your childhood.
Talking about. Did they stand up and pee?
Yeah, they kicked ass and peed. They had Megazords. Dude, that's awesome. Me and my
Megazord.
friends all had Megazords. It's like the toys and shit where they like combined. Like every Saturday we'd like go to someone's house and like trade Megazords and stuff.
Well, because I always had my shul on Saturdays,
Ah, there you go. That sucks.
so I never was able to watch them.
Well, and
But you know,
we
whenever I stayed home from shul, I always could watch like Saturday morning cartoons, and I was pumped. But that rarely happened.
see we had combining things too. They were called Transformers, and they weren't cheesy.
Oh, I
They
love
weren't.
Transformers.
Okay, yeah, they.
That's 2 movies coming out this year. You got a Power Rangers
You ever
movie
watch,
coming out in March, and
ahead.
Transformers The Last Night coming out in July or something.
Who's gonna bother watching that? I stopped watching Transformers after the third one.
Yeah,
Supposedly
you're not
they
missing
got
much.
better.
No, 4th one sucks. But
Oh
no,
really?
you don't watch it for the story. You just watch it to turn your brain off and be
As
like,
soon as
oh
they got
my
rid of Megan
god,
Fox,
she's not in it anymore.
as soon as they got rid of Megan Fox after the second one, that's kind of where it went.
Oh, Sam's got a crush.
I used to, but you know what? She's like, I don't know how she's doing now, but she's not really where she was. That's for sure.
She's been in those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. Now that's a pile of hot garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. I think you
When
were
was the
telling-
most recent one? When was that?
Last year.
Was it last year?
hmm
Okay. They always there's a lot of those movies out, but yeah, they haven't
Yeah,
been
they don't give up on those things, eh?
We must revive TMNT.
Rebuild.
They
Just like
reboot
the
everything.
Oilers have been doing for the past 10 years, and they're finally coming around, hopefully.
Dude, Oilers have had more
They don't blow it.
rebuilding than 9/11.
At least they have 5 cups.
You guys played in the league when it looked like the CFL.
What? You kidding me? We came in the league when there was like 28 teams, man.
Whatever.
You're talking the Montreal Canadiens here. They won like 20 cups when there were 6 teams.
Same thing.
Since the Oilers came into the league, nobody's won more cups.
You
Maybe
guys
Chicago
had like
now because they've won like 3 in the past 6
you
years.
guys had like a bunch of guys
Maybe
on the
we're-
team. I decided to wear a
Toss
real
that
hockey
on.
team.
You just toss that on.
Yeah. Just
Well, you guys
casually.
have 1 cup.
Yeah, we were probably the only team.
Just because we gave it to you with Pronger,
Yeah, it's not like he won it with you guys.
you got us there, and Rollison got injured.
Oh, okay. No, I think.
So
Oh, go ahead.
no, finish what you're saying.
I was just gonna say an offhanded comment about the Ducks being the quickest team to win a cup since their inception, and first in California. So Los Angeles, you
Are they,
can.
Are they though?
Anaheim is the first in California to win. I don't know if they're the
Oh, yeah.
quickest.
No. Well, when did they come into the league?
93.
And they won in 2007, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite a while.
I don't know.
I know less.
I think the Oilers came into the league in 79, and then 79 or 80, and they ended up winning in 83. But they had Gretzky. It was a different league back then, so
Yeah, that's when one guy could carry a team.
But they still won one without him too. So.
Oh. All
So
right.
What? No.
I was just gonna say, you guys were talking about reboots and stuff.
Yes.
Have you heard about The Handmaid's Tale being rebooted by Netflix?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It-
Same.
it's pretty specific. I wouldn't know this if I didn't happen to read it as one of the choices in high school. So yeah, so apparently, let me just confirm this because I'm wondering if that is the case. Netflix, Handmaid's Tale, yeah, or it's gonna be a TV series, I think. So The Handmaid's Tale is a book that was written by Margaret Atwood. You've heard of her
Okay.
before?
She's written what? I've heard of her. She has like a famous book.
Oh, The Handmaid's Tale, or at least that's one of them.
She has another one, but
She
anyway,
has
sure.
probably a few. Anyway, I read this book before, The Handmaid's Tale, and it was like, there's actually a description here. It's set in the near future New England in a totalitarian theocracy, which has overthrown the United States government.
Sorry, what theocracy?
A totalitarian theocracy.
Totalitarian theocracy.
That's a
It's a
mouthful.
totalitarian.
How does theocracy and bureaucracy differ?
How does theocracy and bureaucracy differ?
Yes.
Theocracy, a theocracy in of itself is a state that's like religion is at the top. That's a theocracy.
Okay.
Whatever the religion happens to be. And you know what totalitarian is. So totalitarian theocracy means like super controlling religion is at the top.
Okay.
And
Sure.
yeah.
There's places like that nowadays.
Well,
a lot of
yeah.
Muslim states, obviously.
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, like, this book, it was like to the extreme. Like you've heard horror stories of I guess I don't know even know if I have heard of something like that. It's mostly fiction where people have been like every aspect of their life is controlled. And I mean to the point like you can't exit your house unless you have a reason to do so. Your job is very, very specific in what you're
Like
doing.
North Korea.
Yeah, I get. Well, I'm assuming that's what it's like there. But yeah,
Fair enough.
and so it's basically like everything about these people is controlled to a ridiculous state. And I don't know. It was years ago I watched it, so I can't give you too many specific details. But that's a thing. That's going
What's
to
it
be
called
happening.
again?
The Handmaid's Tale.
The Handmaid's Tale. So is
Yeah.
it like a maid that you like hire to clean your house? Maid is in like you make something.
So it kind of gets a little sketchy, but basically I think the handmaid was like a woman who is passed around in this case, and her purpose was to get pregnant and then like give birth, and that was like, her only thing. Otherwise she was kind of just a maid who did stuff.
Oh, okay. Her only way
Basically,
to get out. Something.
You can kind of look at it from a almost feminist perspective and say, yeah, these women were just tools to be used. It's kind of like, oh, what if she was just a tool? And it's like, oh, there's no reason for her. Just she's there just to get pregnant and do stuff.
It sounds like that movie that came out this year. You seen that horror movie, Don't Breathe, with the blind guy?
Haven't seen it. Heard a lot about it, but
spoilers.
I have not heard about it or seen it.
Yeah, you're not missing much. Big twist is he's got this woman trapped in her basement, in his basement, and he keeps trying to get her pregnant because she ran over his daughter in the past. So this blind guy feels entitled to, she owes me another daughter. So that's the big twist of the movie. Yeah, there's literally a turkey baster scene, and you use your mind and figure out why. Nothing?
I don't think I'm going to use my mind very much more after. No. That's
okay, yeah,
no.
there we go. There we go. It took a while.
Why do we have to figure out why? Why do we have to use our minds?
Because that's what society is missing nowadays.
We're not fat.
Using our minds watching baster scenes.
We're really sticking it to
Guys-
fat people today. I'm sorry, fat people. I like you.
yes, you guys are
Yeah.
sticking it to them.
Yeah, you're right. We should tone that down.
But seriously, lose some weight. It's bad for you.
It's in your control. Well, that's not always the case, but
Thyroid, right?
you can do something about it. Yeah, a lot of people have those thyroid issues, but you can still help your cause. Don't just like submit yourself to that. There's things that you can do to get healthier and do your best to live a healthy life.
Yeah, eat less, move more.
Yeah. But like, yeah, a lot of people have those thyroid issues, which messes with their metabolism. They're not allowed to burn the calories. They're not able to burn the calories that they ingest as efficiently as most people.
Yes.
I don't know the whole like the processes behind that, but it'd be something interesting to look into to see if it's losing weight is actually out of their control, which I feel like they still have. They've got to still be able to have some control over it. You would think.
This is such a
But
small.
just kind of guess.
It's such a small portion, though, of like the community in which we would consider very medically deteriorating towards their health. Like if you're at a fatness point where it's like bad for you, like super bad for you, I think that's such
like
a small portion.
Morbidly obese.
Well, even before then, like I think if you're like hiking towards morbidly obese, you should definitely try and pull a U-turn. But there's a whole community there where it's just people are just lazy, man. They just like they no self-control, no commitment.
I've never understood how you, for those who are morbidly obese, how do you let yourself get to that point? I've always wondered that.
It's an addiction a lot of the time.
Well,
An addiction to.
Like, do you not see yourself and be like, oh, I gotta turn it around here?
Well, like I've heard a lot of stories, and there's a lot of stories about again addiction to eating, like comfort eating. I think I don't remember the exact term, but basically, some people, I don't do it, but a lot of people will, if they're sad or whatever, they'll eat and they'll feel better because food tastes good. It'll make them feel better, and that can get out of control. And a lot of the time, people do said things. They can often be depressed, and as we know about depression, it's not exactly you can just pull a U-turn sort of thing. It's more of a going down the slippery slope. Really,
Yeah, that's a really fair point you made right there. Yeah.
I don't know where I heard this before.
Okay, go ahead.
But like a comedian was talking about like because like you're right. Like how do you get to like that point? And I forget who it was, but it was something along the lines. It's like the guy goes like, getting fat is just so easy and so fun. Losing that is the hard part. So it's just easier to go.
Hold on, don't stop.
Commit to it.
You cut out for the last
cut out a little
15
bit there,
seconds.
so
That's okay. I'm
Lisa,
recording it. I got it.
Okay, what did you say for us so we understand?
It's this guy basically goes on to say at like they get to a like certain point. Like he says this in a joking way. He's like, getting to this certain point is just so fun and so easy. Just to get fat. Fat is easy. Like super fun, super easy. That once you get to a certain point, going back is like hard. So just commit to it. You're gonna have a great time getting the rest of the way up.
Doesn't Bill Burr talk about that?
It might have been Bill Burr.
He's talking about like how easy it is to get fat.
He talks about it in his new special.
You could just like lay on the couch. Oh man, I want to get fat. it just happens. It just happens. There's no discipline needed. You can just lay on the couch and start stuffing yourself. Oh yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Have you watched his new special?
Yeah.
Like like that thing where he's like, you ate yourself in, so walk your way out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has his own podcast too, hey?
The Monday Morning Podcast.
I haven't listened to it, but
I don't really I don't have time to watch his, but it's just him really just ranting about shit. Sure, it's funny, but
yeah.
I really like his cruise ship scene though. I love that.
Oh yeah, keep talking about it.
Yeah.
I love when he gets like the sound effects going.
Wow. Yeah, that's what really makes that. Like, it's not funny at all, except that he incorporates the mic really. I'm like, oh, that's neat.
He starts tapping on the mic. And weren't we saying it kind of reminds us of Mad Max?
Yeah. So basically, in this Bill Burr special, he talks about overpopulation. He's like, I got it. I know how to solve overpopulation.
Oh
You
joy.
make me your dictator, and I declare. He secretly declares that in the summer season, he goes out in open waters and sinks cruise ships because we don't need those people in this world. So he goes on to say that like his submarine.
Well, he basically like reefs on people that actually think that taking a cruise is a vacation, and that's why you need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
That's very specific, and I feel like
because you don't do anything on a cruise ship apparently. You just kind of chill out on there, and you just.
It's like a Mexican resort.
One, so I can't really say.
I've never been. Well, you can imagine. It's just you go there, you eat food, and you drink and do nothing. It's like a stagnant hotel floating on water.
I would say it's like a resort on water. Usually, there's like all sorts of stuff there.
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
some
a mall.
stuff.
It's like a whole bunch of stuff.
No,
Great
you
place
can
to
do all
waste
that
money.
stuff on land though too.
He goes into detail though,
Yeah.
like he's super extreme about the whole bit. He like invokes like some like German accents and stuff. He's like turning it into like the Third Reich of cruise ships and shit. You gotta watch it. It's a great special. He's like, play the music, and like he does, like the binoculars and everything. It's great. He was in Breaking Bad. That blew my mind. That's such a great show.
You know what? I stopped watching Breaking Bad after the second episode.
What is wrong
Can't say
with
I
you?
ever started it.
What is this?
Because,
is why you guys sit down and pee. This is why you guys sit down and pee.
Everybody told me that the first season kind of sucked.
What? No.
So I just kind of heard that and was like, well, I don't have the discipline to sit through the first season, so I'll just kind of.
The first season is amazing.
Take a pass.
They put a body in a bathtub with some form of acid, and he makes because it's the chemistry teacher, genius guy, and druggy sidekick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he looks at.
I know that much.
Yeah, he looks at like. Oh, I forgot his name. I feel so guilty. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. I'm just blanking on his name. So he looks at Jesse. He looks at Jesse. Like, get rid of the body. There's a body at some point. Get rid of the body. And Jesse's like, okay, I'll put it in. He's like, put it in acid or something. So he fills his bathtub with acid on the second floor, puts the body in it, and Heisenberg comes home. He's like, so did you get rid of the body? And at that time, the tub and the body come crashing through the ceiling down. It's great. It's great, man. The first season.
Are we talking about acid that'll decompose stuff, or are we talking about acid like on acid?
Oh, decompose, like a chemical.
Oh, okay.
Chemical.
Okay.
So it basically
you're talking about
burns
druggies.
through the bathtub, basically.
Yeah, because you got to put it in a bin. They learn. It's a great show. You really got to watch it. It's amazing. It's my best.
Would it still be great to watch, though?
Yeah. I've rewatched the entire show 3 times.
Series?
It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Has it ended?
How do you people get this much time to watch these shows?
You ever had like a couple of weeks in the summer and you're just like nothing? It's like you sit there. You ever laid back and gone, I want to get fat? You just throw on Breaking Bad.
I actually have. I did go through that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I had the flu there for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Lost almost 10 pounds.
Well,
and I felt like a scrawny little bitch. So I'm like, well, I want to get fat. I'm sick of being skinny.
Yeah.
So you know what? I did have that.
So like me and my buddy Alex.
Maybe over the break here.
I'll name drop him. Doesn't matter. Alex and me love Breaking Bad. He watched it before me. I caught on right as the entire series was ending. So this series ends, and me and him are in Best Buy, and we see like the barrel. Like the barrel is a big thing where they decompose bodies. It's kind of like a centerpiece. It's a calling card of the show in a way. So they have this barrel. They have the whole series. Like it's like a release, like a box set, right? This huge barrel, Blu-rays, little special things. I think the thing was like $200 something for this whole TV show, and me and him bought it instantly. That's why I've seen it 3 times. Yeah, I have it here. No, I brought it back to Calgary.
Oh.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. I can't say enough good things about it. Like you watch Game of Thrones?
I watched up to the.
Never mind. Give up.
I watched up to the second episode of the second season.
All I'm saying is, if I had to choose between watching TV advance and never knowing Breaking Bad existed or haven't watched it, I would choose to only have ever seen Breaking Bad and no more TV that could ever be.
What are you talking about?
Pretty great.
If I was given a would you rather of you can enjoy television's history and its potential future, but you and your memory will never know about Breaking Bad. It's wiped from your memory bank. Or you can just have Breaking Bad. I choose just Breaking Bad.
That's bullshit, man. No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. Because
You
I
would
still have
not.
movies. There is no show as good as Breaking Bad.
So you couldn't watch hockey. You couldn't watch sports anymore.
I don't
That's
watch
on
hockey
TV.
now. I just get the highlights on my phone.
Well, that's the same thing. That's watching TV.
No, it's not. I'm not watching
Because it was on.
All
It was
these
on. It was on TV originally,
idiots.
and they're just carrying it over to the phone.
What? No. I don't give a shit that much about hockey. I'll find out if the Ducks win.
So you couldn't watch any other TV show.
Yeah.
There's no way you do that. There's no way you do that.
Breaking Bad. You need to watch. You'll understand.
You get so sick of Breaking Bad. That's
I'm
the
not
only thing
saying
you're
I
allowed
have
to
to
watch.
I'm not saying they're putting me in like an experiment where they have my eyes ripped open and they're just cycling the show in front of me the rest of my life. Just
Well,
saying.
that's basically the only option because you can't watch any TV other than that.
I can watch movies.
Why are we even, guys? What is with this argument?
I'm trying to convince you to watch Breaking Bad, and I'm doing a poor
Breaking Bad's-
job at it.
I get it. I think I got it after the first example. 5 seconds.
Yeah,
It's good.
see? He gets it. You gonna watch it, though?
Get it? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
Maybe.
on Netflix, right?
I don't know if they removed it yet. It should be.
How many seasons?
5, but technically 6 because the last season was cut into 2 halves, which they labeled 5 and 6 for whatever reason. So season 5 has 8 episodes. Season 6 has 8 episodes. Together, it makes a full season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your argument was good,
Yeah.
and I'll probably watch Breaking Bad.
Excellent.
But one of the arguments that you used to try to make that argument was poor, in my opinion. Trying to say that if you had a choice between watching every show on TV in the past, present, and future, or watching Breaking Bad, only choosing Breaking Bad, there's no chance. So just leave it at that.
It's
Just leave
Breaking
it at
Bad.
that.
No, it's Breaking Bad every
No,
time.
it's not.
Yes, it is. You'll understand. Folks, tune in to, let's give them, what week is it now? Let's give them like 6 weeks. Tune into episode 7 and Sammy Boy will be in the same ship as me being like, I'll never watch hockey again. I love Heisenberg.
You know what, though? Like, it's kind of ironic because a lot of people say that, oh man, I don't have the discipline to, so I'm just going to sit here and watch Netflix. I'm like, I don't have the discipline to sit and watch Netflix to watch a full season. I don't like binge watching. It's weird. I think I'm weird, but it's just the way it is. I don't like binge watching.
It'll capture
So I don't know
you.
if I could finish it in 6 weeks.
Breaking Bad will grab you. I convinced my dad to watch it.
Game of Thrones grabbed me. You know what? The one show I did binge watch was
SpongeBob?
actually two. SpongeBob. First one, Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Never seen it.
and then second one was Stranger Things.
I hated Stranger Things.
What? Why?
It's garbage. It's pandering. People are like, oh my god, it's like the 80s. I remember Ghostbusters. Like, no, it's so bad.
You just love the vibe of it, man. Like, how can you not like that?
Yeah, cool.
And the suspense of all of it, not like building up to what it actually is.
I've seen more suspenseful things. I've seen
This monster thing is.
It plays to the lowest common denominator of audience members that like the 80s because there's so many things out there that are better. I can't think
Like
of
what?
any, but
Oh, there you go.
no, there are some.
Like
Let me think,
I've
let me
never
think.
been a huge fan of horror movies.
Yeah.
And that movie or that show wasn't a horror movie, but it kind of had that vibe about it. So it pushes you a little bit towards that thriller aspect without actually getting to that horror part that I'm not a huge fan of.
I thought it was so boring.
Hence. Well, do you
Well,
like
I
horror?
haven't seen it. Sorry.
I feel like Brock would like it. He seems like the type of guy who would. Seems like a normal person.
Yeah, if you sit down and pee, you would like Stranger Things.
Mm.
I'll give you this though. Season 2 trailer looks interesting.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
you've watched it?
It's like
I
30
haven't.
seconds.
I
There's
should probably.
there's a
I
gigantic
just saw like the
monster
intro little credit thing for it.
with the Egos.
I can't remember. It was like a couple months ago,
Oh,
but I
never
saw
mind.
something.
Well, in this new thing, it just kind of teases it. It's gonna come out next Halloween. I'll probably watch it. But there's a gigantic. It's a quick shot. There's a gigantic silhouette of a huge monster in that town or whatever. So it's not just that creature from the first one. There's gonna be some big ass shit going down. So
Okay.
maybe I'll like
Good
this
to-
new one because it won't be boring and pandering and uninspired. Hopefully this one's unique.
I just love the soundtrack of it, man. I wasn't even born in the 80s and I still got the vibe.
That's got a cool soundtrack.
Like the intro.
Yeah, it's decent. It's probably the best thing
song?
about the show. Everything else is just uninspired. They're like borrowing things. There's a way to do that, like tip your hat to old like nostalgia, but they didn't do it in a like they just did it in like such a lazy way.
Like parodizing things.
Well, not even that. Like in a respectful way. You ever seen the movie Cabin in the Woods, the horror movie?
Heard of it.
It's like a love card really, or a love calling card or whatever it is, to the horror genre, and it really plays like in a unique way on like the horror tropes. It's an amazing movie, well written. 2012. It's critically acclaimed, and I love it. There's a unicorn in this movie.
Really?
And a merman. I say no more. Just don't let anyone spoil that movie for you. It's amazing.
Giddy up.
Pardon?
Giddy up.
Yeah. Giddy up on that. I'd watch that, then Breaking Bad.
Huh.
Yeah. That's how you borrow stuff.
You know what was, I think, what turned me off of horror movies? When I was like, I don't know, I was probably like 9, maybe 8 or something.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at home watching like a show or something with my mom, and a trailer for The Grudge came on, and that just scared me the hell out. I was like 8, and then I was like scared of like this grudge monster like coming into my room for like the next year. And that's kind of what turned me off of horror movies, I think.
The Grudge scared me. I was definitely scared when I was younger of that one. But I started watching horror movies when I was like 6 years old. Like
I used to be into.
I grew up on horror movies.
Horror when it comes to that, I've been more into like games rather than movies and stuff. But I did I watched a lot. I'd like to play or watch other guys play on YouTube, and then I'd listen to them or watch them. I've stopped doing that recently. I mean, as Sam was saying, it's great fun until you can't go downstairs when it's dark.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I needed a nightlight for a while there, for sure.
I still get scared in the dark sometimes. If I go home, like get home and my roommate's not home and it's just pitch black, I need a light to turn on so the Bloody Mary doesn't get me.
It's because horror. That's why.
Well, I have something to talk about based on what you just said there.
Uh-oh.
But I actually found one time, like, I was like, for a while there, reading up on stuff about kind of facing your fears.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I was like into this whole thing. And then one day I was at home alone and the basement was like pitch black. I'm like, oh man, I'm doing this. So I went downstairs and just walked around in this pitch black basement for like 5 minutes.
You're a psychopath.
Scared the hell out of me for the first like minute, but then I pushed through. And I was like beast. I was like a beast, man. I pushed through and I'm like, I can walk in the dark, man. I can do it.
Did it help you?
It did.
Oh.
Okay. But I wanted to say he mentioned the Bloody Marys.
Oh yeah, this is where I thought you were going. Oh god.
And
this
then
scares the shit out of me.
No. We're not going there. We're shifting over to Brock here.
Okay.
Something to do with these like.
Are we?
He's a descendant of people.
Oh. I don't even know anything about them, but apparently my ancestors, somewhere along the line, there was a group of people called the Bloody Marys, and I don't know what they were, whether they were like I don't know who they were, but apparently they killed a lot of people, and that's a bad thing. And they're my ancestors, and now here I am. I might kill you too because of it or something. I don't know. Horror.
Are you Irish? Or like, are part of you Irish, or what's your kind of?
I forget if I'm part Irish or part Scottish. I haven't paid much attention to this.
You're white.
I'm white. That's pretty much my conclusion.
It's a good way to keep
Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah. You should look in. We should look into those Bloody Murrays and
like his culture,
people know about that,
or the urban legend.
Well, his descendants or his ancestors, the Bloody Murrays.
Are you familiar with the urban legend?
Of which?
Like it's like you go in the bathroom.
Bloody Marys?
Yeah, you light the candle.
That's Bloody Mary as opposed to Bloody Murrays. They're different, apparently. Murrays.
Maybe they're not.
They were a people.
Remember when we were talking the other day about last names? Remember that? Changing.
Who, me and you?
So like, I was talking to Brock about it.
Oh, okay.
And what were you saying there about Brower? Your last.
Yeah. Okay. So it's.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just like we were just talking about the origin of last names. This is really random, but yeah, it's like where do names come from? Where do last names come from? And there's different origins of them all. Depending on the culture you're in, there were different reasons. Some were religiously based. Some were just based on your job, what that was. So my last name is Brower, which probably came from brewer, guys who are brewing beer, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Brewing ale. And then, of course, if you know someone with the last name Fletcher, or the well-known one Smith, people who were Smiths, that apparently there were a lot of people who were Smiths back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then we could go on and on about that.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then we were talking about my last name, Goldberg.
My favorite.
And you were saying something about how, like, thinking that, like, we changed our name from something else to Goldberg because we made a lot of money.
Because you're Jewish.
Stereotypes exist.
I didn't want to say it because I thought it'd be super offensive.
How would it be offensive to say that I'm rich?
Because it's a stereotype that Jews are always like rolling in money.
I'm not a social justice warrior that's going to rag on you and be super sensitive for saying something that might offend you.
I didn't know it first, but
I appreciate that cautiousness.
Yeah, Brock, the Jews don't need your protection, you warrior.
Okay.
They just need your money.
They can.
Oh, we don't need it. We don't need it. Kidding me?
Yeah.
Don't need it. Okay. Well, that's great. For
okay,
me,
Goldberg. All right. Well, we're an hour and a half in. Do you want to call a show here?
We can call it, I think.
Well, I remember saying at the beginning that we kind of shut it down around 12:30.
Oh wow! Look at that.
And it's about 12:26 right now, so we're right on time.
Guess so. All right. Well, this has been the Moderates. We have talked about absolutely everything under the sun.
And know absolutely nothing.
And we know absolutely nothing, but we talk about it anyways, like we do.
Yes. I have one quick shout out though, because this will be going up Monday, February 13th. In an
ideal world.
Yeah. If something changes, I'm the idiot here. But tomorrow, if you're watching this tomorrow, Valentine's Day, is the first anniversary of my first album, Killing Me. So I just want to say happy birthday to that. I'm very proud of myself.
He's bringing this up. He's doing that.
Yeah, happy anniversary to that. It's hard work on that first one, and the second one is coming along, and more to be had. Anyways, Brock, you were closing us out.
So this was this is episode 1 of the Moderates, and this was recorded on February 11th. Yes, it is.
It's February 12th now. We kind of recorded it on 2 separate days at the same time.
And we'll see you next week.
Yep, every Monday. That's the plan. Hopefully, who knows? We're not professionals.
We'll see how things.
We're doing our best here.
Hey,
all right.
Goldberg, give them a PewDiePie fist that you love giving, and we'll end it there.
Fucking loser.
Yeah.